weird to be asking this in like late October here already. How's it feel to finally get a home series? And for you, your first as head coach.
Yeah, wonderful. We're so excited to be back in Duluth and to finally get to play here in front of our home crowd. So it's going to be an awesome weekend. I heard that the president of the university system is going to be here as well as our chancellor, so super excited, and it's also alumni weekend for us. So I think we're going to have about 20 of our alums here cheering us on, and the Walter Cup. So we had 4 of our players play for Minnesota in the PWHL that won, and they're bringing it home to Duluth to be able to showcase it and do some autographs. So excited to have those players back here in Duluth with us.
It's good morning, the alumni of town. That means there'll be some entertainment suite next door, especially if a couple of them are on here. Got on the officials pretty hard last time, I seem to remember. Shu, where do you feel your team's at right now after this
yeah.
We talked about it last week, grind of a start to the season?
Yeah. Wisconsin's super fast, talented team, and they definitely exposed some stuff on us. And so this weekend, we were like, this is going to be a work week for us. So we're going to identify areas that we need to be better at and go to work these next couple of days here to prepare for this weekend. So I'm happy that it happened so that we can be better going forward.
Is it refreshing at all to finally be home? Does that change the perspective on the team after all these weeks traveling on the road?
I think it's added energy, to be able to be here to play in front of our home crowd, and so that'll be a lot of fun. But nothing really changes for us. Our focus is always going to be on us and what we need to do to get better and what we need to continue to do that we are doing well with.
Balance like a short week like this for the series.
Yeah.
Sunday, getting home late, and then starting.
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. It's you know what? Just knowing that each and every day you're so blessed to be able to do what you love to do, and just to make sure that you recognize that, so you're coming to the rink each and every day with the right attitude and energy to be able to grow.
How do you compare Wisconsin and Ohio State? Have you seen them both?
Yeah, they're both obviously super talented and fast, and Wisconsin really knows how to snap the puck around, and like I said, that definitely identified some areas for us where we need to be better. So that'll be our focus this week.
They probably know that you've given brief down there, so they were ready.
They were ready, yeah, for sure. And they're a team that super talented. A lot of their top players were the last few years freshmen and sophomores, and now they have that much more experience under their belts. So, again, just a really tremendous program. So glad that we were able to play them early so that we have now some time. We've only played 3 series, right? And it's October, so we have lots of time to continue to get better.
They obviously scored a bunch.
Yes.
Was that their offense or a little bit due to your defense?
I think both. Yeah. I think both. I think sometimes the puck goes into the net, it's a little bit, sometimes it's just talent, right? And sometimes it's breakdowns. So we had some breakdowns for sure, though, and we'll address them this week.
You talked about forechecking last week and what you do differently. Whatever you did didn't work, right?
You know what? We scored 3 goals on them, 4 total. So that's pretty powerful against a team like that. So I do think there is a lot of good things for us to continue to grow off of, and we will continue to, hone in on those things, but definitely some things in our defensive zone that we have to be better at. And we have to stay out of the box. So we have to learn how to be physical without taking penalties, and that'll be another important detail that we continue to hone in on.
St. Thomas, we've seen across their athletic program here the last few years as transition to D1, they've all become competitive really fast. How much improvement have you seen out of this women's hockey team at St. Thomas?
Yeah, 100%. They continue to keep getting better. They, I know that Coach Joel Johnson, one of his focus is for his team to continue to have that competitive mindset. And you're seeing that. You're seeing that in video. They're 4-0, so they're an opponent not to take lightly whatsoever this weekend, which is why this week we have clarified as this is a work week for us. We got to get ready to make sure that we're ready to go on Friday night or Friday afternoon.
How has the injury to
Yeah. We have to be better as a coach in terms of managing our ice time with our players, you know. And I think that was also a lesson for us as coaches. I think we definitely overplayed some of our players, and we need to do a better job of that going forward. So big lesson learned for us as coaches to get better at.
Something jumped off the page on Sunday's game. Nina had 10 shots on goal and leads the team through 6 games.
Yeah. Can she ever find the net? Can't she? Yeah.
She had a little bit of a dip offensively last season, but was that a focus of your conversation with her to add that piece or to be more aggressive in the offensive part of her game this year?
I think that's something that has just developed. But I will say that that's a focus for all of our D going forward is getting pucks through to the net and doing a better job, having a little bit more poise on the point, you know, and trying to find those lanes, whether they carry the puck to find the lane or make a move to find a lane, but getting it through that first layer is going to be important. We had a lot of shots blocked offensively, I thought, against Wisconsin, so that's also another area for us.
Coach, how do you allow your team to remain encouraged after Wisconsin, had such an offensive outburst against you guys? Well, you didn't, we had before.
Yeah, I think you got to look at the things that we did well with to continue to keep the momentum. We outshot them on the first night, and the second night the shots were still pretty even. So I think those are the things that you hone in on and move forward with.
Were there certain things that stuck out to you in game 1 and game 2 that you thought, okay, we figured that out?
From a getting better standpoint, yes, clearly. There's definitely things in our D zone that we have to be better at, and we're doing a little video session this morning before going out onto the ice to identify some of those areas. And even yesterday's practice, I saw a tremendous amount of improvement just from over the weekend because of those were little things that we identified. So. Every practice is, our goal is to get better than we were the day before. And I think we continue to see that. Yeah. So, good. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
I've missed seeing him. I'm not gonna lie. It's great to see him around.
Hannah, your last home opening weekend took a while for us to get here because the Syracuse State. What's the excitement about after a tough start to the season for you guys with 3 big road trips?
Yeah, I mean it's just gonna be nice to be home, be in our own beds, be in our locker room, use all of our recovery tools after the game. It makes a difference than compared to being on the road and sleeping in a hotel with, someone new. We have new roommates, not our roommates at home. So it makes a difference. And then just being comfortable in the space that we practice in every day. We have our routines here. So, it'll be great. And then just excited to play in front of our home crowd. Hopefully everyone else is excited too.
Who are you roommate on the road?
Zoe Kroc.
Zoe Kroc?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great though. She's an easy roommate. Yeah.
She's an easy
Yeah,
roommate?
yeah, she's good.
Captains, that's the advantage of her. You just said on a podcast for being a captain, right?
Yeah.
You guys get influence on
Yeah,
rooming.
yeah.
What stood out to you about this team these first 6 games? This has been a pretty big test for all of you taking on Ohio State, Colgate, and Wisconsin.
Yeah, 3 top 10 opponents, that's a big challenge right away at the beginning of the season, but I think what stood out with this team is our belief in each other. Like, Shu instills the belief in us, and then she could just do that, but we also believe. So that was a big thing that stood out, and just our energy too. Like, it's different than in past years. I feel like our energy on the bench sometimes is just like, let's go. And in past years, it's kind of been up and down, ebbs and flows, but I think our energy is really big this year, and that'll help propel us to victory, hopefully.
Where's that influx of energy come from?
I honestly think it comes from Shu. She's a very energetic, outwardly energetic person. So her energy is kind of leading us, and it shifted our energy a bit, and you saw that a lot with the Ohio series. And yeah, it's definitely a new energy compared to having Coach, but we've adapted to it, and I think it's going to be part of our identity now.
Series, two tough losses at Wisconsin. What did you learn about that? You had the high of the Ohio State series, and then maybe a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a wake-up call.
Yeah.
But, the lower of a Wisconsin series. What did you learn from that weekend?
Yeah, it was a tough series, and not every series you're going to be able to sweep the number one team in the nation. So I think we're going to take a lot away from that, just in the way we played and then the way we can adapt to that too. They're a really skilled team, like Shu said, and they capitalized on every single mistake we made, so we have to minimize those mistakes. And then we also have to learn how to adapt mid-game too, and then be able to attack them as well and not just always be on the defense. So tough weekend, but I think there's some positives that we can take away from it and then also implement everything that we're learning into our next series here.
You mentioned you can't sweep the number one team in the country every weekend. It's a good goal. I'm wondering at all, you guys have talked about, she was talking about things that need correcting. Are there things that maybe because you had the good start, you sweep Ohio State, you split at Colgate that maybe got overlooked and then they got exposed this weekend against Wisconsin, stuff maybe weren't taken care of in the winter? Is that old cliche you learn more on a loss than a win sometimes?
Yeah, there's definitely things that I think weren't an issue before against Ohio and against Colgate, but Wisconsin really exposed them, which makes sense. So it also does depend on the team you're playing. Usually we're going to mostly focus on us and our systems and how we play, but then you also do have to adapt to other teams because they're going to watch film too. So there's definitely some things that Shu found that were working in the first 2 weekends that didn't really work against Wisconsin. So something that she's looking at and she's informing us about this week, for sure.
She was still spending just as much time breaking down film for you guys?
Oh, yeah.
As head coach?
Yep. We asked her one night on the road, we were like, so it was after I think the Colgate game, we were like, how late are you going to stay up watching this game? And she's like, well, it takes about double the time that we played the game. So she was like going to be up until like 2 a.m. probably. Yeah, she's crazy, but she's the best.
Talk a little bit about this weekend, St. Thomas. Obviously you played them years past, but what do you see from them this year that you want to try to capitalize on? Yeah,
well, they're 4-0, so they've had a good start. We're coming off a 3-game losing streak here, so I think we're ready to win again. This team hates losing, that's for sure. Our practices get very competitive with that. So just going into this weekend, focusing on us, like I said, knowing that knowing that St. Thomas is coming off a little hot streak here, and they're not a team to be taken lightly, as Shu said. So just focusing on us and then taking advantage of every opportunity that we get against them.
Why have you guys been so successful against them in the past? It's been kind of pretty lopsided as you look at head-to-head.
Yeah, I think going into the game with confidence is huge. Knowing that we're a top 10 team is very important, and then playing like that too. So we talk about playing with swagger, playing with that confidence is very important, and then also just making sure that everyone's a part of the offense. Shu talked about how she wants to see our defense be pretty offensive. So having 5 people in the offensive zone instead of 3 forwards and 2D is very important. But I think that's something we focus on and a lot of teams focus on as well.
Shu talked about it last week. Matt wrote about it last week. Yes, I read the article. You as a student athlete, how different is Saturday, Sunday versus Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we come back Sunday night, and Monday's our off day from hockey, but it's really not an off day. I think a lot of us spend pretty much all day at school on Monday and maybe get a couple hours here at the rink for some treatment and recovery, whatever you need to do. But the past few weekends playing Saturday, Sunday, Monday is just like a grind day with school, catching up, making sure you're talking to all your group mates. I'm a business major, so I do a lot of group projects. So just making sure that I'm contributing to those groups because I can't really on the weekends, and they know that too, which is always good. So definitely just communication is huge, but time management is very big during the week when we can do the schoolwork. Thank you, guys.